welcome, welcome. Oh, beautiful, Rebecca. Oh, thank you so much for being here today. We're just laughing because we've already been talking for almost an hour and we hadn't even pressed record. So this is what happens when I bring these beautiful women. We're like chat, 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 talking about life. And anyway, so I'm so grateful that you're here. And I would really love you to share with us, what do you do in this world to make it more connected?
Okay, well, I'm a soul coach and career strategist, and I'm also a Reiki master and intuitive guide. So I help women, support women transition from the corporate world into motherhood and beyond.
Okay. Love it. I love it. And it's so wonderful when you can articulate that, because some people really struggle to actually, you know, when you ask that question, they sort of go down a bit of a rabbit hole of like, not quite sure. So being able to really articulate that is so wonderful. And another question I ask everybody is, you know, we have these gifts and we have these passions and we have these visions. And I'd love you to elaborate and share those with us. But there's this why. Like, why do we do it? You know, I know you're in, you know, you help women, you know, in that career and corporate space. And we can go and get a job. We can work 5 days a week. We can put our babies in daycare. But that, as a mother, it's not what a lot of women want. So why do you do what you do?
Simply why I'm self-employed is because I don't want to work for somebody else full time. The way I became self-employed is that I was in recruitment for 12 years and it took me 18 months and a miscarriage to get pregnant. But when I then told my employers at 13 weeks that I was pregnant, they stopped me working from home, which I had been doing 1 day a week, and extended my working hours. So that's the recruitment and the sales of recruitment. So it was really clear that when I had the baby, I wouldn't be able to work there part-time. And I knew I didn't want to work full-time. So at 4.5 months pregnant, I left and set up my business. And now I want to help and empower other women who are on that journey of having a successful career. And you know what it's like, we're often defined by our career. We're financially independent, we've got financial stability, we've got freedom, choice, you know, our career's on the up, and then we have a baby, and then all of those wobbles, you know, and there's an acceptance period, and obviously being that I had Reiki, and I had done a lot of work in those 18 months to get pregnant, I basically leveraged all of those skills to help that, you know, that adjustment into motherhood. But then I didn't need, because I wasn't going back into the workforce, you know, I could see from the clients that I had that there was that next adjustment, you know, the guilt, the overwhelm, the worry. And also so many women are made redundant whilst they're on maternity. They don't know where to go. They don't know how to search for a job. Flexible opportunities are not that frequent. We often accept lower salaries just to get a flexible role. So the whole gambit of stuff that I knew that I could help women with. And I want to help mums transfer back into the workforce, and those that, you know, want to sort of go back to work, want or need to go back to work. And I just know that I can increase their self-worth, I can increase their self-confidence, and I can get them back into work far easier than if they're doing it on their own, because I just leverage everything that I've known for the 12 years in my previous career. So that's kind of why I do it. And it's important for me that women have that financial stability, I guess, because what underlies it all is because of what sort of happened to me. I want, you know, I'm aware of the gender pay gap. I'm aware of gender inequality, of the discrimination, of the unconscious bias when people are recruiting, because I've seen it firsthand. And I just think if I can increase the number of women in leadership positions, if I can, you know, help women interview and negotiate better, they can increase their salaries. So in the little tiny little world that I operate in, I am going to be going some, you know, making a little dent in closing that gender pay gap, in changing inequality for our future generations, for our daughters, so that our daughters don't have to deal with the shit that I've had to deal with. So that's kind of like there's my lengthy version of my why.
No, it's great. And it's so important. And I really believe that the working mum, and I know there's lots of labels for mums, single mums, and however that, you know, we don't like labels, but I guess when we're putting mums into categories, there's the corporate mum, corporate woman who, you know, through her own choice, which is absolutely valid, or through having to work for financial security, I think it's the hardest place to be when you have a young family. Yeah. Because, you know, there's just such little time. You know, you're managing all the responsibilities, and that takes so much energy having a full-time job, and you're running a family, you know, and there's just so much that goes with those responsibilities. So I think, you know, whether mums can work part-time or whether they can work for themselves, or empowering to have them to have that choice is so, so important. And I know that you helped me when I was going through my wobble of, do I go back to work or not? And of course that didn't flow, and I'm very grateful for that. But you were so beautiful, and you stepped out and said, let me help you with your CV. I hadn't done a CV for 8 years. And I actually really love doing a CV, because I feel what you do in your bio is quite different to what your gifts actually are. And writing down what you're good at, I actually was like, wow, I kind of really loved that process, you know. And it was really nice to actually put something on paper of your achievements, and, you know, like a gifted communicator, I called myself. And I kind of feel like I really do believe that I've got that gift. So that was such a beautiful that's how we connected, and I'm really grateful for you to be here now to share your amazing knowledge with us all. So thank you for sharing your vision and your dream. So let's talk a little bit about the struggle, because the struggle is very real. Hashtag the struggle is real. Yeah. How do you help women transition? Like you say, they've had this beautiful corporate job, and they're very successful, and I feel a baby just comes along and like, it's just so out of your control. And I think that these are the women that absolutely struggle the most with motherhood. How do you then help them with that transition?
I totally agree that those types of women, they're successful, ambitious, they're in control. And I was one of those women, you know, when they become mothers, we tend to take that mindset into motherhood. And it's worked for us in the past. You know, we've become incredibly successful in your field. And you just sort of think, well, why isn't it working? And it's because it's obviously a baby. And so you have to figure out a whole new way of being. But, you know, you've lost your confidence. You've lost your identity. Often our jobs define us. So we've got to redefine that identity and find our confidence again. We're extremely vulnerable, very overwhelmed. That sort of transition period, I have a program called Soul Mama, and this is all about doing the inner work. And because I believe we have to do the inner work to be able to be our best and do what we want to do in our outer world. So, you know, I look at all of the woo. We do all the woo sort of stuff before we then do the
love the woo.
So, you know, Soul Mama is my group program, which I beta tested last year, and it's going to be launching this year. And it's all around helping women with strategies to adjust and accept the changes of motherhood faster and quicker. So it's about finding your confidence, your calm, and your connection. My thing is your vibe affects your tribe. So how I show up as a mum that's affects those people around me. So how I show up, and obviously because I'm an energy worker, I know how our energy affects those around us. So if I can teach, and you know, it's all through live workshops, women how to manage their own energy, to positively influence those around them, which are, you know, obviously our babies and also our partners, because they're obviously going through a big journey and transition as well. We are going to feel more in control, and we're going to feel calmer, you know, as we accept our new way of being. So it's things like mindfulness, mindset, meditation, and lots and lots of inner work. So that's kind of
beautiful.
what I try and teach to
That's wonderful.
empower that transition.
And do you, because I feel like all mums need this, these constant reminders, and that's why I'm such a massive advocate for mindfulness and wellness and self-care and connection and compassion. So is there anything that you can share with us that's really practical that you may do in your daily routine that could help mums who are either transitioning at the moment or who are just feeling like they don't have this sense of purpose now that they've gone from the corporate world into the baby world?
Yeah.
Like, is there anything really kind of juicy and practical that they can do to help them kind of get back into that space of feeling connected back to self?
So look, I mean, there's little things that I do. One is to get into the ocean and ground myself, or to do any form of grounding activity, to just get your energy out of your head and down, earth it. The more grounded you are, the easier it is to deal with those challenges. Obviously, having any form of time out and quiet time. Meditation, I think, is quite overwhelming for a lot of women and mums to take on board, because it's like, where am I going to find 20 minutes or 30 minutes? So I try and get women to do that at the end of the night, even when they're just lying in bed, and if they fall off to sleep, then that's fine. But not even necessarily just a formal meditation, but just to connect to their breath and go inward and just totally focus on their breathing, to stop that monkey mind and that judgment and the comparison and all of those things that go on in our head that make us anxious, to just quieten our mind to a point where, that passes. They're just clouds that pass. And a friend of mine shared a really beautiful sort of, soul guide connection meditational process that she does. And that's, you just go quiet. You call in your best friend or your soul guide, and you imagine, say, you're sitting on a beach, and you lie down and you rest your head in their lap, and then you just ask them, you're feeling very, very safe, and you just ask them, what do I need to know? And then you just listen to the guidance. And I thought that was absolutely really beautiful, because it's a really simple way for us, if we're going to bed, we're going to be absolutely knackered, and just, even if you fall asleep, just a really beautiful way of just connecting to yourself before the end of the day actually finishes. So those, and then the other thing really is from an energetic point of view, just when you're feeling yourself, the energy getting too much, just take 10 breaths and calm your breath down. And if you've got a baby that's crying, and I did this with my son Finn, just if you do really long, deep breaths and hold your child, they sink into your breathing. And
I love it.
They quieten, and they calm down. So the moment you can self-calm also helps to calm your baby. And
totally.
My toddler, and I still do this. And it's amazing how children are so connected to us. And obviously for the first 9 months of their lives, and they've been as connected to source as they have been to their earth life. So, they are really empathic, and they're really intuitive, and they're very, very connected to us and our breath. So the more we can hold and physically calm ourselves, the more that we can help to calm them.
Oh, it's so beautiful. And I teach this too. And it's in Mother On, my book, which I, like to empower mums who are struggling with motherhood. And I actually meditate in bed too. I find either at the end of the day is just practicing gratitude. I have a gratitude journal, and I was sharing with you actually that I'm tracking all my money at the moment, trying to manifest more and feel really grateful for that. And I did that last night, and I actually realized that I have brought in, $5,000 in the last couple of months. And there was me thinking, I haven't got anything in, and I've got no clients, and you go down that rabbit hole. But actually it's not true. The universe is providing for you, and it's all coming from all different places, which is really interesting. And I think that being in that space of gratitude is a beautiful practice at the end of the day. But I actually wanted to do a meditation this morning, and it was half an hour. And it was Dr. Nat, who I'd actually interviewed before. She'd sent me through a meditation. And of course, half an hour, I've got Luna walking in and out. She's in my bed. She's out my bed. And it was actually a live healing she'd done. And I actually felt quite frustrated afterwards. and it was like that frustration of, not being where I want to be, and some of the negative beliefs coming up, and not being able to meditate because Luna was annoying me and she hasn't slept for 3 nights. And it's interesting. So meditation, the myth around meditation is that you're just going to be calm instantly. It's not true.
Yeah.
Right? Brings up stuff you need to clear.
Yeah.
It's a process. And so we need to go there, though, and we need to go there as often as we can, because there were moments in that meditation I felt a deep sense of peace.
Yeah.
And now I feel that again.
Yeah.
So I know there was a clearing there, but it can also make us feel quite frustrated. But we need to process that frustration.
Yeah.
We need to get it out, or it becomes quite toxic in our body and it makes us unwell.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing those beautiful tips. I 100% am all about quietness, and, and even with little Luna, like, we lie with her to go to sleep, but I just stroke her face, and it's just, holding your babies, they're so little for such a short time. I know that was 8 now. And it's just like, she goes to sleep and I'm rubbing her eyes, and it's like a meditation.
Yeah.
So you don't have to sit there with your eyes closed, like omming. Just hold your baby. Just stroke their face. That's a meditation. Yeah, absolutely. It's just that moment of just pure joy.
Yeah.
And I can hear her screaming in the background. Yeah. She's not feeling the love right now. I'm like, pick her up. But anyway, thank you for sharing. I love that. So let's talk about your ideal day and your, getting to this vision and this dream. Like, how do you feel you're going to get there? And a lot of the mums I'm interviewing, they already feel like they're living their dream day. And I love that so much. They actually wouldn't change much about what they're already doing. They might travel a bit more and, spend more time with their family. But I just love the fact that you guys are already totally living your truth. So talk to us a little bit about these beautiful dreams and visions and how you feel like you're going to get there.
I do kind of feel that I am doing what I want, particularly I actually vision board, obviously you can see it in the background.
Yes,
right?
I love that. And I love follow your dreams. I'm like, that's so cool. I've got breathe as well, right?
Yeah.
Like, I've got like words everywhere.
And last year, I felt, entrepreneurship is bloody hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's be real. It's really hard and it's lonely. So last year I made a really conscious effort of connecting with people physically, in person, because I felt that I was becoming quite lonely. I'm a solopreneur, I'm in my business. Yes, you talk to clients, but it's, via Skype, and it's not quite the same as having physical connection. And I think that ultimately what all humans want. So last year I took on a healing room and a co-working space because I wanted that, and I put on my vision board I wanted to do workshops and retreats. So yes, I can access lots of women online, but I also wanted to physically show up and be present, like face to face with women. And the irony is, in January of this year, 2 people separately contacted me and said, can you do workshops for me, and can you come on this retreat? And because we want you to, to do some work. So it's like, oh my God, like this vision stuff works. I'm manifesting this connection. And I think that's really what I want more of this year, is a balance between the work I do online, and specifically the group.
Sorry.
I did. It's okay. Bless you.
Thank you.
Would be like live workshops, like live coaching. And face-to-face workshops. So
beautiful. I'm all about the power of connection, and it is about stepping out of your comfort zone as well. And I love speaking and being in real time. And the purpose of social media is just get people offline. This is a big reason why I'm doing all these videos and the spotlighting series, because we all have so many beautiful gifts, and I may have connected with you, and I may know the value you sit on, or some of the mamas I don't even know, and I'm like, wow, it's so cool that you're coming out of your bubble, right, and sharing your beautiful gifts. And I feel like it's absolutely how we connect. When we feel like we have a tribe, when we feel like we're supported, when we've got the power of the sisterhood, and it's all about collaboration. The more people we can work with, the more people we can touch in the world. So that's just so beautiful. Like, I'm a big vision boarder. I use Pinterest actually because it's very pretty and it's very visual, but I do love the cutting and the sticking and the putting it on the wall as well. Like, I think that's really powerful as well to have that visually. So you're basically telling the universe every day, that's what I want, you're magnetizing that. because we need triggers.
Yeah.
You know, we need constantly to send, and it's even before you're even thinking. It's just like, yep, you know, like I've got that. Like that's how you actually manifest it. You have to feel like you've already got it. You have to, you know, in your energy, you're just sending that out. I know people who've stuck like red dots all over their house, so that when they see the red dot, they manifest what they want.
That's good.
You know,
that's a great idea.
Yeah, you know, and so just associating it with a color or a feeling, it's really, really powerful, because we sometimes we're not clear on what we want. So we send out mixed messages, and the universe can't give it to you because it's not quite sure what you want.
Yeah.
And I remember, I was sharing with you, I did some journaling, and I wanted to, you know, how could I get to make $10,000 a month, and how can I get 3 new clients a month, and my new business opportunity that I was sharing with you. I fully believe I was like journaling about that, and it came.
Yeah.
And that's the model they use. And I'm like, wow, you know, like the universe will give you what you want, right? You've just got to be so clear. And I find journaling or vision boarding so powerful, so absolutely powerful.
You've got to be clear on what you want and open to receiving the signs. And the signs and the direction and the path might not actually come in the way that you're expecting or you're thinking. So instead of being closed, it's going to come from this route, just be totally open, because it could come from any place as long as you're clear on what your intentions are.
And I think being open to receive is absolutely huge for women and for mamas. And, you know, we give, but then we struggle to receive that. We struggle to receive compliments. We struggle to receive help. We struggle to say no. We just sort of struggle, right? It's like we just feel like we have to always be serving, and it's exhausting. And so that's so important too, to just be open to receive whatever's coming, because we block it energetically, and then we're just confused, and then we just feel like the faith is gone. And we know that, we want to live in flow and we want to be magnetic, but often we get in the way. And I was fully like this morning, right? I was all excited yesterday, and we'd gone for dinner and had a bike ride, and I was drinking cider, celebrating, knowing I was going to get women into my team. And then this morning I was like, oh, that didn't flow like how I wanted it to. And then, you know, you've got to shift your mindset around that. My partner said to me, don't do that, because you're stopping it. He's really good with me, actually. He sort of slaps me around the face.
That's great.
Gives me my coffee, you know, and he's like, babe, you'll be fine. But we need these people, these teachers, to come in and say, stop it, because your words have power. They are like spells. And the more you say that, the more you're blocking it. And then, of course, I have this beautiful conversation with you, and I'm like, ta-da, life is amazing again. So thank you for sharing your beautiful your wisdom and your knowledge. And I love to ask this question, because I know there's so much, like we all have sources of inspiration, and it changes all the time. But what's really lighting you up right now in this world?
Oh, do you know what? It is my business besties, actually. It's no one that's big and famous. You know, I read a lot, and I do, you know, I follow a lot of the thought leaders. But at the moment, my greatest inspiration is a group of women that I've randomly sort of connected with, and they're in little pockets, and they light me up, you know, just watching them pushing their boundaries and, you know, showing up and, you know, trying to make change. It's amazing. I mean, it's just, we just, you know, help each other, support each other, and keep each other grounded and on task and focused, because it is just so hard. It is very difficult, isn't it? You know, when you're growing and you're on your own, it's difficult to keep that motivation and focus the whole time.
And we can be so emotionally attached to obviously our children, and you know, their life and their well-being and their energy, and our partners as well. Like, we carry so much with us, and there's such a process, I find, of like letting go, and it's just always letting go of what's not serving you, always being in trust and surrender, which sometimes can be very hard when the bills turn up, or however, you know, that flows for you, or don't get the clients that you want, or, you know, there's those blocks around that. And so I feel the support is just essential, you know, for me to be able to message my business partners now, which I've never had before, and just they hold space, and it's just so amazing. It's so amazing. So the more people you can have in your tribe that are holding you and sharing. And I feel like with Magnetic Mama, we've really hit some magic this week. You're my 8th interview. And so that's so exciting,
Cool.
that's why I've got my coffee this morning. This is like, woo. But they're just and I've got so many more interviews to share, and I really am grateful for the women stepping up, because it's how we connect.
Yeah.
So thank you. So my last question is, how would you like to direct mamas to find out more about you?
I guess social media or my newsletter, because my website's been changed. So my newsletter will have all of the new programs and offerings on it. And obviously social media, my Facebook page or my Facebook group, which isn't for business mamas. It's just for positive mama sisterhood. It's just positive inspiration for mums, whether you're in careers, stay at home, business, whatever. It's just, so yeah, those newsletter, Facebook or the group.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been
Have
amazing.
a beautiful weekend. Yeah. Take care.
You.
Bye.
Bye.